Welcome back. This is reading of my book, The Powerful You. This is chapter 4, I think. It's called Connectedness Comes with Balance. People have a habit of being so anxious for positivity that they're willing to deny reality to achieve it. They're ready to write off anything that gives them pain or challenges their thinking. When negative people or undesirable occurrences like this happen in their life, they immediately smack it with the label negative just because it postpones pleasure. They combat anyone who thinks with an opened emotional palette and inform them that they are the ones who need to change their thinking. Seeing those individuals who are not afraid to explore the full range of emotional experience as the problem, when in reality, their fear to explore that within themselves is the real issue they cannot face or even admit to themselves. We are living in a culture that sees emotions with cognitive dissonance, such as black and white, good or bad, positive or negative, and this perception has a very dangerous effect on people's psychology. One example of how this mentality creates a chaotic ripple effect in the world is that it allows people who subscribe to this way of thinking to refute the responsibility to be empathetic of another's circumstances. For this reason, those with classist prejudice are usually wounded by this perspective. It's not everybody, though. There is nothing dark about sadness, crying, fear, anxiety, intimacy, pain, and vulnerability. There is only darkness in the belief that these emotions serve or benefit us any less than emotions of happiness, gratitude, confidence, willpower, and strength. In an attempt to feel superior to the darkness and to those they think shine with less light than themselves, numerous people latch onto fortune cookie philosophies and those feel-good one or two sentence quotes that tend to force very nuanced things into quick, compact generalizations. This positive thinking does not make you strong or even appear to be so. The act of casting off the rest of your emotions comes from a place of weakness because it is fear that propels many of these people to act this way. They fear succumbing to the influence of something they are not comfortable with. If you avoid embracing these sides of yourself, and more dangerously, these sides in others, then you never learn their importance, how to effectively manage them, and weaken your ability to empathize with others. When we accept the benefits that they actually provide, we are able to see the lessons they are teaching us, the red flags they draw our attention to, and the new roads to further growth that they unveil. We must keep in mind that we are all toxic to someone. Remember that the next time that you decide to post a picture or article about, excuse me, remember that the next time you decide to post a picture or article about how to get rid of toxic people or 10 traits of negative people, etc. We've all made mistakes, and we've all faced the consequences that came with them, as we all come from our own unique traumas that shaped us pretty poorly. So don't be quick to judge or condemn someone else for the phases they are at in their lives where they are making their own mistakes. Some of the wisest or most inspirational people have been disregarded by some because of the mistakes that they have made. So it is essential not to develop a mentality that writes off others immediately for their moments of thoughtlessness. Many of us have intermittent or temporary phases due to a variety of reasons where we are not a reflection of our best selves. Our heads are in the wrong place, maybe because of stress, depression, internal struggle, financial burdens, and many other reasons. So we mess up. But if we learn and grow from the experience and forgive ourselves for making the mistakes, we always have the opportunity to come out the other side a little bit stronger, a more improved version of who we are. How unfortunate to be haunted forever by a past mistake you've grown from, because people cannot accept your ability to learn or allow your ability to learn from it and attempt change. What these positivists fail to recognize is how that mentality is quite equivalent to elitism. We cannot deny the facts of struggle and the stories of pain in others, especially those of lower classes, for example, and in ourselves. If we ever wish to achieve lasting moments of fulfillment, satisfaction, and happiness, and develop a deep, genuine connection and friendship with the people around us, those struggles and pain are what shape us as much as any other emotion and experience. Embracing them with as much courage as you have is what makes us well rounded and relatable with our communities and all of society. It's also what teaches us to be truly compassionate people who are better able to put themselves in other people's shoes and emotions. When we have a better understanding of what someone is feeling or going through, we are better equipped to share insight and advice, if asked for, that is most effective in helping them. On the contrary, or on the other hand, when we are thinking only of ourselves, we aren't actively listening to what someone is trying to convey to us. We hear only what we want to hear and put them in a box of being negative. To preserve our positivity, we might feel it. I read that wrong. To preserve our positivity, which we might feel is threatened by being in the presence of someone who we deem to lack it, we invalidate their vulnerability by telling them to be more positive and keep their chin up, which is just an attempt to avoid the conversation altogether because we feel it inconveniences us and the good vibes that we want to be feeling. It sends a covert message that someone's feelings or struggles are not valid. It subtly expresses shame for being open about how one feels. This does not bring you closer together, but instead creates a bigger divide. To truly grow and change, we must know what it is we are trying to grow away from and towards. Avoiding parts of ourselves and others will only limit our potential to be superhuman and transcend into the people we want to be. With all that said, it is equally important that our ruminations serve to help us heal and learn, and that we do not dwell in our moments of doubt and sadness any longer than is necessary to aid in our progression. It is best to find the lessons in the experiences that have brought us pain and take the time to reflect as much as necessary to understand those lessons and what they are teaching us. This is the knowledge we take with us into our future selves. If we don't take the time to understand who we were, what happened, what we liked, what we didn't like, what went wrong, what went right, and every other indispensable analyzation, we risk finding ourselves in similar situations again and again. Remember not to rush your healing either, or feel pressure to heal quickly when you hear people say things like chin up, or it's been a few months, you should be over it. Smile already, that was in the past. The time it takes to complete successful rumination will differ with each person, and it always depends on the nature of the experience and the effects it has had on someone. People who do not respect this process and criticize the time it takes for some people to heal is more a reflection of that person's fear to confront their own demons on a very deep level and their inability to properly heal the pain that resides within themselves. Although you do not want to dwell, healing does not abide by our human rules of time, so there is no such thing as a specific amount of time that is essential for our emotional wounds, and like any other injury, some are more severe than others and require much more time, attention, nurturing, and patience. Be sure to determine the difference between the healing process and crossing the choice to dwell. They are extremely different, and most people confuse them. Ask yourself, have I wondered this already? Am I repeating myself in a loop or a spiral? Am I getting closer towards what I need from this? Are these thoughts leading me up, as in towards solutions, or spiraling me down, as in towards lingering pity and doom? Questions like this can help you discern that difference. Usually it is our friends and loved ones that pile on the pressure to rush or fake the process of healing. When we see someone we love in pain, we might feel helpless because there isn't anything that we can really do to help, as the removal of mental blocks needs to come from them. All we can do is let people be free to feel, to experience the emotions, and take all the time they need, and just be there to listen or provide advice when asked for. When this doesn't feel like enough for us, that's when we catch ourselves saying some of those phrases above. It's not them we are thinking of, but ourselves. So next time this happens, stop it, take a breath, and remember to accept and acknowledge their pain rather than dismiss it, and be empathetic towards what they're going through. This isn't about you. This is their pain, and we must respect their need to express it. After this, it's time to foster a spirit of rebirth. To truly be at our best selves, we must be balanced. Balance requires both darkness and light working together inside you, and not one overwhelming the other. Any slight shift will cause a tilt and sway effect inside us that will feel like an emotional roller coaster. It will feel like you're out of alignment with yourself. Remember to become balanced. Study emotional intelligence books and eat up the knowledge and advice until you have found the perfect tools to aid in your emotional health and well-being. We all have powers inside us to be truly exceptional individuals. We just need to remember that and use our mind in ways that are healthy for us and for those around us. Explore how to find balance in yourself and then discover balance in your life. So that's the end of that chapter.